Hello everyone, welcome to the MADDad channel. Today we're going to talk about 3 items. Number 1, is it possible for a middle-aged divorced parent with zero YouTube experience to create a viable YouTube channel? Number 2, how exactly could this be done? And number 3, how do you measure success? How long is it going to take? My name is Frank Franchini. I'm a middle-aged divorced dad. Yeah, I know, it's kind of sad. And this is where we're going to start. So before we get going, if you're new here and you haven't already subscribed, please click the subscribe button below and also make sure to click that little bell so you'll receive notification when new videos are released. I'm going to try my best to release videos on a weekly basis. All right, let's get going. First, let me tell you a little bit about my background. I'm actually a serial entrepreneur. I've started numerous businesses over the course of my lifetime. And some of these businesses have been dismal failures and some of them have actually been quite successful. In fact, the primary business, which is my main source of income, I started almost 20 years ago with a good friend of mine, and this business has been profitable for 18 of these 20 years. We had a couple of bad years, but that's to be expected with any new business. Every person that works for my company, and there's actually 10 of us right now, basically contribute to its success. And this business was actually started from what was at that time a really abstract idea focused on the hotel industry, specifically condominium hotels. And basically we now have some of the nicest, most prestigious properties in the world. I also get to travel extensively. And I'll just point out that when I was growing up, that was one of my major goals, was to be able to travel. It came to fruition. I'm able to do it. Now, if you'd like to know a little bit more about some of these businesses I've started over my lifetime, and believe me, there's all sorts of scenarios there. Some of them have been good, some of them have been bad, some of them have been profitable, some of them haven't been profitable, then I'd certainly love to make a video about it. Just leave comments below and let me know what you think. So now that I've given you a bit of an idea about my background, let's get back to that first item that I mentioned, which is it possible for a middle-aged divorced dad, or any middle-aged divorced person, or anybody actually with zero YouTube experience to create a viable YouTube channel? And the fact is, actually, it is. Absolutely. There's thousands of people, content creators, that have created successful YouTube channels. And there's hundreds, if not thousands, of new YouTube videos and channels created every single day. I think actually that number's millions of videos every day. Now, let's face it, not all these videos or channels are going to be successful, and in fact, most won't be. Most channels, most videos will get very, very few views and very little traction. But if they've been created correctly and they've got the right content, demand, and marketing, they will rise to the top. And this is easy to illustrate because every time you go online and search for a video of your choice, you come across a plethora of content created by successful YouTubers. And you know they're successful because, first of all, you found their video. Second, you were interested enough in the description and image to actually select that video. And third, you watched it. And if it was good enough, you probably watched it to the end, and you also subscribed to it. And that's a big part of success. Now, I'm going to digress for a moment there and say, let's say that, for example, you're searching for a topic and you didn't really discover any suitable content. I mean, this has been happening to me a lot lately. If this happens, take a note of it, because that's a potential opportunity for you. All right, so let's move on to number 2. How do you actually create a successful YouTube channel? And that really is the million-dollar question. Well, I'm going to be upfront with you. It's one thing to create content. It's a whole other thing to create successful content. And creating successful content takes a lot of time and effort. And I don't care what type of business you're starting. This is just a fact. So the other thing about making a YouTube channel is you can't really expect to make any substantial revenue for a while. Reality is there's no such thing as getting rich quick, unless you win the lottery or unless you got a really rich uncle or a few other things that you probably shouldn't be doing. But, this is a long game and you have to treat it as such. Ever since I came up with this idea of creating YouTube content, a YouTube channel, I've done a load of research on how best to make that happen. And I know how to run a business. I know how to create a business. I've started businesses from scratch with nothing, with just an idea. The thing is, I don't really know how to create a YouTube channel. There's some very, very successful, very smart people out there that have figured out exactly how to dial it in. And these are the people that we really need to be looking at. They have the content, but most importantly, the content and the structure makes sense. And let me explain how I justify that statement about making sense, because it is a very subjective thing to say. I don't care what type of business you start or you run. You could be running a retail store, you could be running an online store, you could have a software company, you could be running a successful YouTube channel. But to be successful, there's always few components that are in common. Number one, you have to have a product or service that people are interested in. You know, in this case, the product or service that we're talking about in terms of YouTube is going to be something that hopefully that there's a demand for. Number two, you have to have a sound marketing program, which is basically a way of promoting your service or product and having those people find that service or product. And number three, that product has to have high enough demand to warrant a purchase. And that purchase isn't necessarily monetary. In the case of a YouTube channel, it could be a view, it could be a subscription, it could even be a comment. If there's any sort of interaction, you've successfully sold that product or service. And although those products and services and methods and mechanisms have changed over the last, let's say 1,000 years, the essential components, good products, marketing, and a sale have remained the same over millennia. My point is, to make this successful, you need to spend time and effort. Let's face it, you could always get lucky and strike gold. I mean, it happens. People also win the lottery. It happens. But the thing is, even if you strike gold, you create a fantastic video, it gets 10 million views, it's likely not going to be successful in the long run because you have to know the basics. Now, this brings us to number 3 topic, and that is, what is the measure of success and how long is it going to take to achieve success? First of all, let's define what sex is. Success. It's not sex. We know what sex is. Let's define what success is. And I know you're probably saying, hey, Frankie, stop beating around the bush. Just tell me what your success goals are, But it is really, really important to define the difference between subjective success and objective success. Subjective success. If you're still watching this right now and have gotten anything from what I've said, that first level of success has already been achieved. That's pretty cool unto itself. This is subjective success. And it's really important to me. It's probably really important to you, but it's not necessarily important to the success and growth of the channel. Obviously, it's going to have some aspect of growing it, but there is more than just that part of success. Objective success is completely definable. And this is where we need to go. The objective success of a YouTube channel, if you're looking at monetizing it, if you're looking at turning it into a business, that objective success is going to be 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time over a period of 365 days. It's at this point when YouTube is going to monetize your channel. In other words, you get to start earning ad revenue. And the AdSense revenue, I'm sure you've been going on to, YouTube. Obviously you're on YouTube because otherwise you wouldn't have seen this video. And those little ads pop up at the beginning, at the end. That's all AdSense revenue. It's actually generating money for the person that created that content. Now, getting back to that 4,000 hours, 1,000 subscribers, those are pretty big numbers. And just to kind of put it into context, 4,000 hours, a 5-minute video, that's about 48,000 views over a 365-day period. So that's a lot of views. And in order for that to happen, you really need to have the good content that captures each viewer's attention. Now, there are other ways to earn revenue besides AdSense, and we're going to explore a lot of these over the course of the next little while. So this brings us back to the first point that I made about having a service or product that people are really interested in. So if you don't have that service, if you don't have that great product, if you've got a crappy product, you're going to get crappy results. There's a saying, garbage in, garbage out. Once again, it's the same for everything. It doesn't matter what you're doing. All right. So I've kind of told you about the three different things there. So let's talk about where I currently am. Even though I've been a YouTube subscriber since, I don't know, 2006, I think that I currently have 18 subscribers and about 91 watch hours over the course of the last 365 days. So I'm pretty much starting from zero. Like I need 982 subscribers and 3,909 watch hours. Now, if you also happen to look at the content that I have available right now, what you're going to see is that that content is pretty personal in nature. Not that type of personal, but it's personal in nature. You know, it's got some of my gaming stuff. I think I got a picture of a turtle. I fly helicopters, not real ones, model ones. I've got some of those online. I got some snowmobiling videos. I live in the north, right in the mountains, so I go snowmobiling. I digress. My point is that they're personal. So there's really not a lot there to capture people's attention. So where am I going to go from here? Obviously, I need to really increase my subscriber base. I do have a lot of experience creating businesses. I know how to create a business. I know all of the items that go into it. I know how to do marketing. I know how to do content. I know how to do all these items. But this is something that's really completely new for me. But I have to tell you, I am super excited about doing it. I think that this is an incredible opportunity. I'm really excited about learning things. I love learning any new biz. And of course, I'm really, really excited about looking at that subscription, that getting to that 1,000 subscribers. I have no idea how long it's going to take me. And obviously the content I create is going to have a lot to do with it. Once again, figuring out that content. The marketing part, it's a little bit more straightforward, but it's going to be figuring out that content. But what I'm hoping here is that by you watching this video and you watching my successes and failures, you're also going to learn from this, and you're going to learn from my experience. And I would like us to learn and grow together. So if you do have ideas, if you do have comments, if you have suggestions, share them with me. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you're doing. And I would really like you to be part of this overall process. So make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you ring that little bell, whatever it is, that notification bell. And if you like this video and want to see more of them, give it a thumbs up. If you think it sucks, give it a thumbs down. Hey, it's all good information for me. All right. Thank you very much. See you next week.